outside of here cannot hear.
Okay. Can we try the roll again?
Ready? Yes. Chair Eileen Delaney? Yes. Here. Vice Chair Mary Ann Pintor? Present. Pastor Robert Sparks Jr. Andrew Hayes?
Here.
Dr. Arlie Brown? Nadia Kinayu? Present. Bonnie King? Here. Ariana Federico Mondragon? Here. Tim Ware?
Here.
G.I. Wilson? We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, our next agenda item is public comment. Before we get started, just wanted to let you know, we have a really heavy caseload with 19 cases this morning. Each one of those cases is very important to us, and it really deserves a careful and thorough review with attention to detail. We owe this to everyone in each case. And that's why we're starting early, so that we can spend as much time as necessary on the cases. Public comments are very important to us as well. You'll have the opportunity to speak now at this meeting, as well as the regular meeting at 5:30. We are not going to vote on any cases until after we've heard the public comments. I just want you to know that. So with that, Mr. Parker.
Yes, first we will call Jim Ellis.
Thank you very much. So the November 15th incident with citizen Audra Morgan and Sheriff Nick Gonzalez. What does this incident tell us? What does it tell the people watching on? Supposedly, Ms. Morgan was resisting arrest when Gonzalez had her outside of the chambers before proceeding to press hard his near 200-pound body upon her 100-pound frame and aggressively handcuff her. But what arrest was she resisting? What law was she breaking? Mustn't one be breaking a law put into law by the appropriate legislature before a law is being broken and an arrest can be made? I will never understand what actual law she was breaking. Was the law some made up impromptu protocol regulation that the board created because of some self-serving need? Does the actual law state one must never go against the board chair's commands? Well, if so, that would mean that whatever the board member of the moment said goes. If the board chair says, take this person outside, must the sheriff oblige no matter what? Must the sheriff oblige if the chair says anything crazy, like take this person outside and shoot her? What is the actual law here? Why must a citizen be arrested for breaking some phantom rule? This is classic authoritarian. We were all watching on as witness to the overreach of a law enforcement officer harming the body and attempt to break the spirit of a vocal opponent. And what did we actually see happen in the incident? Audra spoke her words of discontent and then sat down calmly. Initially, Chair Nathan Fletcher erratically called out his warning in a unilateral manner, ultimately targeting Audra over Speaker Vyra Brooks, who was screaming at the top of her lungs, "You're killing people!" Literally, within 10 seconds, Fletcher announced, "Audra, your outbursts are disrupting the process of the meeting." First warning, "Audra, your outbursts are disrupting the process of the meeting." Third warning, "Audra, this is your third warning." Then, speaking to the sheriff, Fletcher said, "Please escort Audra Morgan out of the chambers." The entire verbal incident from beginning to end took 26 seconds. Audra Morgan was targeted, plain and simple. Is that okay? Is that lawful? And let us remember who did the targeting, whose impressions we empower, whose directives we hold in high esteem. You got it. Mr. Nathan Fletcher, one of the most disgraced individuals in San Diego politics, an adulterer, a cheater, a proven liar. So in the end, what does this incident tell us? What does it tell the people watching on? It's telling me that I'm not safe. The people are not safe. It tells me the board leaders can make up any rule and it can be held as law, higher than the legal system and higher than the Constitution. It tells me the board of supervisor members are not really here to serve the citizens, sorry, and this deputy isn't really here to protect the people.
Thank you, Mr.
And their rights.
Thank you. Next, we'll call Paul Hendricks.
There are three areas of significant disagreement. CLERB report. Number three, that excessive force was justified. Number seven, improper arrest. And number eight, that Deputy 2 witnessed the assault on Morgan and did not act. Number three, in Luke's reporting that I sent, Deputy 1 actually rolled Duggar's head with his arm before slamming it. It is heavily unnecessary, but the suspect also being straddled by the deputy and is excessive, capable of causing a serious neck injury. The extent of her injuries is consistent with excessive force. Deputy 1 should have filed an SR120 use of force report. Someone should have filed a PAT 43 medical records request for Appendix F of the Sheriff's Department policy manual. The report should indicate, but does not. The manual that intermediate force refers to forms of force capable of inflicting significant pain and causing serious injury. Passive or active arrest alone does not constitute an immediate threat justifying the use of intermediate force. It adds, in situations where any force is used, it's capable of causing serious injury or death. There are requirements that whenever feasible, the deputy must first warn the suspect force will be used if there is not comply. I didn't hear any before the head slam. See Penal Code Section 835. Audra was entitled to be told she was under arrest since the action was not during or immediately after the crime. And she was not taken by before a magistrate as the law requires for a warrantless arrest. Audra says the judge has put denied the request. Penal Code Section 849, A101. When an arrest is made without a warrant by a peace officer or private person related, without unnecessarily be taken before the nearest or most successful magistrate. And the number of officers and civilians witnessed the assault. This report indicates only 2. If one officer was retired, the report says CLERB should have interviewed another, them or all of them. Moreover, it seems that Audra was only non-deputy interviewed,
Mr. Hankey,
although the incident was
Mr. Hank.
witnessed by.
Mr. Hankey,
You know, I'm sorry, your time is up. Thank you very much. You could finish at our next
5:30.
meeting.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Next, we'll call Consuelo H.
Good afternoon. Regarding the undue force Sheriff Gonzalez used against Audra Morgan at the San Diego County Supervisors meeting. They had already fingerprinted and booked her peacefully during 2 previous incidents. Dragging her out was unnecessarily painful, and any further force was definitely uncalled for once she was in the hallway. Having complete information about her, the sheriffs could have simply released her and written a ticket once she was in the hallway. They knew she was not violent or running away, and that she would continue her right to free speech at subsequent meetings, as she has done before and will always do, and could have issued the ticket immediately or at any time. The video footage proves this and shows the harsh undue force by Sheriff Gonzalez when he could have easily written a ticket peacefully. Audra was already recovering from MS and went to the hospital for a concussion and ongoing damages. It's just really unfortunate that we have to be here. And, I hope, I don't even know what is to be expected of this hearing, or I'm hoping that there is justice due to the fact that it was Fletcher who called the orders, and we know now that this man he was not in his right mind. He stated it himself, so there has to be justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis. Next, we'll call Brian Rumba. Did I get the last name correct here?
You got it, Les. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, how is everybody? I just got here. I really don't know much about you guys, but what I'd like to just really start by saying is this. Back in the day when more or less our country, when we all recognized what it was this was about, we had what we would call a grand jury. And we still have grand juries today. But that required a informed and engaged citizen. Actually, on this building right here, the first day I came in here and more or less walked through those gates, you'll see that it says pretty much a good government demands the intelligent interests of all of its citizens.
Yeah.
Now, I don't understand really what your purview is. When I come to into this building here, it seems like a lot of it is formality. My question would be, I can start by asking this. The people that I showed that video to of the way this went down, they really were not satisfied. They were not happy. Okay. We as a nation, we have the opportunity to understand what God's rights are. And those are not to be served by any sort of government or sheriff to protect and to serve. The first thing after I went down here, I admit it, I did pretty much tell him that he wasn't, which he is. He actually proceeded to lie to my face. When I asked him a simple thing, and I said, "You apologize," because he was the one who escalated. I do not understand the necessity for a sheriff to demonstrate his machismo. Okay, I do not understand why he felt to push that direction. I understand there was a lot of pain going on. There was a lot of stories of people that were unhappy with ICE. Pretty much their family members being deported. It was a packed room. I was not there that. But like I said, when whatever it was, the protocols should have been followed. They should have been, and anybody who saw it, she was defending the woman whose husband, that remdesivir, it did a number on him. I actually saw those videos. Okay. I actually saw those pictures, those images of that. The people that I talked to on the street, they are very much so at odds with believing anything that comes out of the government. So I don't have much faith coming in here just really because of where this is taking place. And what we need to do is we need to have a system where all these citizens instantly can tell you whether her rights were trampled on, because they sure were.
Thank you. Next, we'll call Audrey Morgan.
I'd like to know if there's something that you guys find that you would fight to death for, that you would do everything in your power to make sure continued, like freedom of speech. I don't know if any of you have ever been paralyzed or have multiple sclerosis. So you wouldn't know what it's like to have a grown man has all the weapons upon him attack you as though you're the one that has all these weapons and that you're the threat. Just for standing up for the rights that we've been given by God. And I was like, what do we talk about today? It's like, I know that justice doesn't come from words like this. Justice comes from our Creator. And I know that on this planet and this plane that it's not going to come in the form that we desire. But I do know, and I have no doubt in my mind, and that is the only reason I can continue, is that the judgment will come from him and it will be just and fair. Because I can't come to you guys and have you not put any of my information in a report. Any of my medical injuries in a report. You asked 2 officers, one of which has retired. One of them is standing right over there. She was standing right next to me. None of them de-escalated the situation. I've been arrested before. None of the protocol was followed. None of it. And I shouldn't just, because he's got a badge on his suit, that I should just lay on the ground and put my hands behind my back. When you guys and them have taken an oath to uphold our rights. And all that's being happening is they're being trampled upon. And now and now the police are attacking me because it's like, if I want to get a press pass because I have a radio show and I'm part of the press, I'm a threat to the police. So I can't get one. How am I a threat to the police? When I'm the one that's injured, when that man still likes to mock us and, hey, Audra, hey. He was so happy to get off of me after he mounted me and did that. And I don't know anybody. That's like being murdered and drunk across some place or being raped and you're just supposed to let them do it. I'm just supposed to go limp. I'm a victim of sexual assault, and this reminds me of being a child when I had to call that man at the police station. He admitted to it, and you know what the judge said? Well, it would probably worse off to jail. So it's good being 14, hearing that, and now being nearly 42 and having the same thing happen. There is no justice here.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Next we'll call Sabina Levin.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Whittle. I am here, as you guys know, but although new faces today, I'm here for Saxon Rodriguez. Saxon Rodriguez got July 20th in San Diego County Jail. I thought we had a special meeting today, and I was a little confused. To the fact. Taking a look through this paperwork, it seems like we're here about complaints in regards to San Diego Sheriff's SCP, CPD, and not doing their job properly, like she said, you know, you guys know when you Google San Diego Sheriff's, their mission, our engagement and consistent professionalism are key to building and maintaining trust as a law enforcement agency in San Diego County, providing detention courts and law enforcement services. Its responsibility. Is that true? Because I don't think it is. We have a number of faces here sitting here stating that the San Diego Sheriff's SCP have not done their job. You know, I just went through recently in the last couple of days trying to make a complaint on a CBPD officer. As Chula Vista Police Department employees will provide fair, courteous, and compassionate service to enhance the quality of life in Chula Vista. My brother was wrongfully arrested by CBPD before he died 4 days later in San Diego Sheriff's custody. And that they were arrested on some bogus charges. I seen the body footage camera with July 21st, 2021 in court, and my brother definitely would have been released. I think that we need to definitely take into consideration that these lives that were wrongfully arrested or injured, I'm so happy that they're alive, that they didn't die in jail. We have now had our 9th meeting. It's getting out of hand. And because this meeting was so early, I don't even have half the families here with me that should be here. You guys are gonna need more chairs soon. A bigger building. Because it's getting out of hand. Like I said, oh, you're tired. That's the last time. It's getting ridiculous. At what point will we hold these people accountable? The people that take an oath, like she said. But because we're not in a badge, we don't have a gun on our head, we have to lay there. For you to have to stand, I'm so sorry. Because I couldn't imagine what it's like to be next to somebody on a badge that has the oath to do something and they didn't do it as a female. And I can't wait till the day I can come face to face with the people that arrested my brother, that still get to clock in, still get to make 6 figures while you have to use a cane. It is sad. And I'm so happy to see all of you guys here. I'm always here up in this front row. And change needs to happen. I'll be here till 5:30, hungry and tired. Right. This is some bullshit that we have to continue to state that we have rights for humans. And wait till you guys are arrested for a night out.
I don't have any other requests to speak in person that I believe,
Yeah.
and, but we do have to, we have two online. So we'll go with Paloma Cerna.
Hello. Thank you once again for letting me speak before you. I backed the SB 519. Like Sabrina was stating, you know, people need to be held accountable for everything that they do. It's a shame that, you know, we're fighting for and we're voicing that we need transparency in the system. The family have the right to know what happened to their loved ones. And it's a shame that to this day, the CLERB reports are still being fought to be held from the public. Even with my daughter's case, Elisa Serna, we're still fighting to get reports from the San Diego Sheriff and also from the CLERB. And so I ask and I beg you guys to please, I don't know what you need to do. You know, I know you recommend a lot of stuff to the sheriff's department, but it's them who will make the final decision if they're going to apply those changes. You know, and once again, you know, we need to end qualified immunity because what the San Diego Sheriff is afraid of being transparent with us is that they know they have to clean house and they're going to have to step up to the plate and show that they really did screw up. And you know what, that's not wrong. It takes someone with balls to admit, you know what, I did wrong and I'm sorry. Now let's start fixing things. Thank you very much. And I support North County Equity Coalition. And I thank all the impacted family and the CLERB for helping us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next we'll call Amber Long.
Hello, thank you. The video in which Officer Gonzalez manhandled this tiny 100-pound woman was not only disgusting, but utterly horrifying. This woman who comes here to defend the rights and freedom of the general public did not deserve to be treated in such a way. The fact that you are all aware that she used to be paralyzed and in a wheelchair, yet so graciously recovered, makes this only so much worse. This officer who thinks he has the authority to sit full weight on top of someone beyond half his size, that's disgraceful. You guys need to clean up your act. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll go to Jennifer Schmidt. Ms. Schmidt.
Can you hear me?
We can.
My name is Jennifer Schmidt. My father died in custody on Valentine's Day, 2022. When we called 911 for an ambulance, the Escondido Police Department showed up. They were well aware he had dementia, never had a traffic ticket. He was in dire need of an emergency room, and they illegally arrested him, where the hospital said he needed to stay, but they had to take him to jail on a book and release from his bedroom for under the influence, where he subsequently died on the jail floor in his own feces 15 hours later, unchecked by any nurse for 15 hours. And how is nobody held accountable for this? How can nobody get authority over the medical staff? Alyssa Serna, 2 years the DA and sheriff saw how she was treated for 2 years, and nobody did a thing about it until her parents went to rally outside of that jail. It is absolutely disgraceful to live in San Diego County. People need to do something. The sheriff can do whatever she wants because she's an elected official and will cost millions to get her out of office. And there's nothing we can do. Somehow we need to get CLERB some more teeth so they can do something. But I completely support this bill, SB 519, for North County Justice and Equality Coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, Chair Delaney, I see no additional requests to speak.
Okay, I would like to thank the public. Sorry under these circumstances.
Sure. Madam Chair, I have a question. Is it appropriate for me to ask Paul to explain a couple of things about our role at this time, or should I?
I think we're going to be doing that at another meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. The question was our role, and I'd like to invite you to come back. It'll be our August meeting, and it will be explained in depth what our role is, what we do, and how cases are investigated. And with that, just like to invite you back at 5:30. Council, could you please quote, read us into closed session?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Here would be recommended closed session pursuant to government code section 54(9)57. Two items, basic items to discuss. The first is public employee performance evaluation. The employee under discussion there will be the executive director. There will be also a series of cases to discuss pursuant to the same government code section relative to cases that are protected and confidential pursuant to penal code sections 832.5 to 832.8. It will be recommended closed sessions.
Thank you. If you could clear the room now, we will start reviewing some of the cases. But again, I'd like to reiterate, we are not making any decisions or voting on any of the cases until we've heard from everyone after 5:30.
Thank you.